Hey guys, and welcome back to today's video. Now, in today's video, we're going to be going over how I onboard my models for my agency Altrist A to Z. So in case you've got your agency and you're looking to onboard your models, this is going to be a really valuable video for you because we've kind of perfected the onboarding process over the years and we know exactly A to Z, the exact steps you need to take when it comes to onboarding your models. Now, first thing I want to cover is you may be thinking, okay, but why is the onboarding process actually that important? Well, onboarding allows you to relay your professionalism across to the model. So the last thing that you want to be doing is onboarding or signing, getting a model to sign a contract, and then it comes to the actual onboarding process and you're all over the place. You don't really know what you're giving them and you're kind of, messaging them different requests and there's no actual streamline to it. That's going to convey a lot of unprofessionalism, and as well as that, the model's also going to start getting worried. And the last thing that you want from a model who is joining your agency is for her to start doubting you, because if she starts doubting you, she's not going to put her all into making content, which means that you're going to be missing out on tons and tons of excess content to actually promote her, drive sales towards her account. So it's really crucial that you nail this onboarding process and that you have it super streamlined. So let's cover the onboarding process, step A to Z. Now, the first step in any onboarding process with the model is to get her to sign a contract. Now, I'll say this once and I'll say it until the day I die. You do not have a model until she has signed that contract. The amount of agencies that say to me, yes, I've got 3 models, and I say, okay, well, are they under contract? They say no. Well, that means that you have 0 models. You need models to be signed under contract for reasons that will occur in the future. Now, some of these reasons may be that there needs to be clarity between you and the model on what services you're providing in exchange for what percentage of their revenue. And then sometimes, in case a model does try and screw you over, it is handy to have that legally binding agreement. So you need to make sure that you're using a contract which has been signed by the model and is also verified by a lawyer. So once that contract has been sent over to the model, you'll then get her to sign that contract. And you can do this with any different software like HelloSign, for example. It's a great software to use for this. And the model will then sign it and it will be sent back to you. Now, once you receive this document back, make sure you save it and secure it in a nice location in case you ever need it down the road. Now, once the model has signed that contract, the next step is to send over the onboarding email. Now, within this onboarding email, we list off 3 things. So the first element is a quick questionnaire form. Now, on this questionnaire form, the model will be asked some basic questions, such as how is it currently going with the OnlyFans account? How much time and energy does she have to put in it every single week? What is she comfortable with us managing? It'll also ask her to send over her details, for example, when it comes to logging into a different social media accounts. And it will also ask her questions based on what she's tried, what she hasn't tried, and we can then tailor that knowledge that we get from that model towards our promotional campaigns and account management campaigns. So it's really useful information for us, the agency, as it allows us to be on a footstep ahead. So we'll get that information from the model via this questionnaire form. Now, once we've done that on this questionnaire form, she'll then receive a second link on that email, and that second link will be to join Slack. Now, Slack is a communication channel that we use at my agency to speak to each other, and as well as that, to also speak to clients. So on the Slack channel, she'll get added to a specific channel for her with my account manager, and as well as that, myself. So she'll be speaking to the account manager for everyday basic things. And if there's anything that requires my input, the account manager can just mention me and I'll be able to weigh in some information. Now, on the Slack channel, my account manager will send an initial message. Now, this initial message template that we send over basically tells her to turn on notifications for Slack, instructs her on how to do so, and it also contains a little note saying that all information or all client communications is going to happen on Slack from here on out. So if I receive a message from her on WhatsApp, I'm then going to be ignoring that message. And this is really important because you need to make sure that your clients are very, very sure on how to contact you and whereabouts they need to do it. Because the last thing that you want as an agency is receiving messages all over the place. Because if you're receiving a message from a model on WhatsApp, you're receiving a message from a model on Instagram, it can get very complex very fast and very inefficient. So by keeping all of these contacts with your clients in one place, it just allows you to have that one app you can go to make sure that all your clients are happy with the service they're receiving. So once we've done that, the third step of that onboarding email is to book in a consulting call with us. Now, the model will book in a consulting call with the account manager, and the account manager can do a few things on this call. One, they can make sure the model is clear on how everything is going to work, clear on how the client folder works, which we'll go into in a bit. But as well as that, the account manager can also do some goal setting. So it's really important that the model is on board with the goals that we're setting with her and that they're realistic expectations. So for example, the account manager can be saying, well, based on the looks of your account, we can get it to 15K a month within 30 days. And to do this, we need X, Y, and Z from you. And by having that transparency and being really clear to the model in terms of how we're going to get them to here and what we need from them, it allows us to be on the same team when it comes to doing it. And if we're on the same team, it just allows everything to be a lot easier when scaling up the model's account. So there's some things that the account manager does on the call. Now, in terms of the client folder, this is sent over to the model on Slack. Now, the client folder contains three things. The client folder contains a welcome pack, and this welcome pack will just detail exactly how everything works in the client folder. So they have information on what exactly they need to do for each part of it and how exactly they can get the most of each part of it as well. And the second thing is a daily reporting sheet. Now, this daily reporting sheet is a template sheet that we use for all our models, and it allows us to basically report exactly on a day-by-day basis key information. So we can report the amount of subscribers that the model's getting on a daily basis, the amount of money she's making on a daily basis, the amount of traffic she's getting on a daily basis. So the model can get key information like that. And this daily reporting sheet is also really cool because it comes with some graphs. So the model can then just go in the sheet, she can have a look at the graphs, see the graphs going up, and then she can then close the sheet and she can be all secure that everything's going well with the account. Now, as well as that daily reporting sheet, there's also another client folder. Now, within this other folder is called a content repository. Now, the content repository folder essentially contains three key elements. So it contains a social promotion folder, it contains a community nurturing folder, and a pay-per-view content folder. Now, these folders contain different guides for each bit of content. So as an agency, we need three different bits of content from the model. So we need social promotion, we need community nurturing, and we need pay-per-view content. And then within these folders, we have key information on exactly how everything, or the type of content they need to make for that specific folder. So it contains how they can upload content to that folder, the type of contents they need to be making for that folder, how they can improve the content. So you have detailed guides in each of these different content archetype folders. And of course, within these content archetype folders, we need different types of content, which is all laid out in that little information pack that they get within each of these folders. So I hope that provides clarity in terms of the actual content collection process. Now, the reason we structure it this way is because it allows us to plug this into a content management database and allows us to manage it really easily. So we're not figuring out whether the model wants a specific type of content to go to Reddit or whether she wants that content to go on pay-per-view. So it just allows us to save a lot of time and there's less decision making in that part. So that's how we actually collect content from the models. And of course, they get examples that come along with it. They get different types of content, different guides on how to make better content. So everything when it comes down to content creation is more or less laid out for them. Now, that is pretty much it when it comes to the onboarding process. And as you can see, as an agency, we've kind of perfected this. So we're very clear on exactly the steps that we need to execute when a model is onboarded. And the model also gets a very, very, very large sense of professionalism from our agency because of how everything is structured, the guides that we have in place. They can just tell that we're experienced when it comes to it. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the onboarding process, or perhaps even plug and play in our onboarding process into your agency, make sure you're booking a call down below with myself, because on this call, we'll be going over how we can scale your agency up to 50K a month within 90 days by using our automated processes and plug and playing them into your agency. Okay, so if you're interested in that, make sure you're booking a call and I'll speak to you guys soon.